The Ultra Speed was released in August of 2022 and boasts an impressive 7 dart per second fire rate. Be aware that the Ultra Speed clips release 2 darts into the blaster. Average for a mid-sized powered Nerf blaster, it runs on 6C batteries. The red plastic felt like it could be removed before the rest, while disassembling. After removing the battery cover, it was determined that it cannot be. Many of the screws in this blaster are very long, and the teardown took much longer than any other. The internals are unique, to me at least, in that all of the electronics are tied together, but not to the chassis, with the exception of a single screw in the orange piece in the middle. The flywheels in this blaster are heavier than any other flywheel blaster I've disassembled so far. I read online that this is due to the fact that they used heavy-duty motors to drive these flywheels due to the fact that they have to fire so many darts so quickly. This black piece that I am removing is part of the stopper to catch darts as they get fed into the blaster. Normally this would be integrated into the top of the clip. There's nothing really on the back side of any of these, except for the drivers on the back of the flywheels. The rev trigger presses a switch right there in the bottom. It also has to be depressed in order to unlock the primary trigger, which depresses the switch that activates the piston that feeds all of the darts into the flywheels. The switch on top right here is the one that's depressed by the jam door. The switch that I'm pressing with the screwdriver is the switch that will be activated whenever there is a magazine inserted into the blaster. I'm going to demonstrate the piston feeder. And that's why this blaster can boast a 7 darts per second fire rate, although in my testing, it was closer to 10. You gotta be careful here when removing the wires. They're not very thick, and there are a lot of them. I tried to not disconnect all of the electronics, as it would be a pain to put them back. So when I separate this orange piece, I only pull it up to about a 90-degree angle. I'll try to explain everything that I see on the inside. The lower section in here is full of mostly just levers and springs to depress switches so the motors can activate. There's a little motor attached to the top of this gearbox that turns all of these cogs, rotating the pin on the biggest cog, actuating the piston at roughly 9 RPM. The gearbox is primarily held together by plastic clips, and all the little parts inside want to jump around. Make sure your piston is fully inside when putting it back together. I end up taking a closer look at those internal components, with the exception of the gears, in my other videos where I tear apart flywheel blasters. I gotta test to make sure that it's actually working before I finish putting it back together. You'd be amazed how many blasters I put back together when they didn't work. Actually, it's probably every blaster in my series so far. Don't forget to tuck all your wires back where they came from. You don't want to go pinching them and breaking them later on. That's not a fun troubleshooting project. You might want to pay more attention when you're putting yours back together, because that barrel goes under the flywheels. Now I'm not sure, because I never tried it, but I think the battery cover could have stayed installed for the full disassembly of this blaster. Something I didn't point out while disassembling it is that most of those screws I couldn't get out of the chassis. You can see here, with just the press of a button, all of the darts come flying out. That's why it always deposits 2 darts into the blaster, or right here, where it jammed, it deposited 3 darts. I need to pick up a more accurate scale if I'm going to be measuring darts from now on. This only goes down to 1/10 of a gram. These are the AccuStrike Ultra darts. They boast being more accurate than the standard darts and weigh roughly 1.36 grams each. I found this to be more satisfying and kind of a little bit easier to load the magazines. 12 darts in 1.27 seconds is roughly 9 darts a second. My chronograph doesn't like the long darts, as you'll see when I bring up the results from all of these tests I'm doing right now. Some of them are kind of ridiculous. If you like this video, well, leave a like. Maybe consider subscribing. I post a video every Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific. Thank you for watching.